Today, Israel remembers those lost to terrorism during Memorial Day events. An air raid siren brought the country to a halt for 2 minutes as Israelis around the country bowed in a moment of silence. Defense Minister Moshe Yaalon called on Israel and the world to deal with the threat of a nuclear Iran.
The rapes of women in Mexico and Brazil and the death of a sexual assault victim in India have put violence against women in the international spotlight. Kenya Downs spoke with Human Rights Watch about where the world stands on women's rights.
The international community is confronting sexual violence after a string of brutal assaults have made headlines around the world. Violent rapes against women in Mexico, India, and the most recent abduction and assault of a tourist in Brazil have put many women on high alert. Liesl Gernholz is the director of the Women's Rights Division of Human Rights Watch. She says violence against women is already a global crisis, and the increased media coverage shows the problem isn't limited to small or poor nations.
Well, I think that it's really clear that violence against women cuts across geography, class, race, wealth. So I think there are very, very few countries in the world that can say that they don't have a problem of violence against women.
The media attention centered on India and Brazil have begun to affect their tourism industries. Governments have launched additional measures to keep their female citizens and visitors safe. But it's the distinct brutality of recent events that put eyes and ears on sexual violence. However, Gernholz insists that progress is being made to address the treatment of women worldwide.
I think there are about 132 countries across the world that have now developed some kind of legal framework to address and respond to domestic violence. We've seen the development of things like shelters, we have seen training for healthcare workers, for criminal justice officials, for police officers. So I think in terms of the response, there has been progress, and I think it's important to acknowledge that.
Gernholz says it's important to remember ending sexual violence involves women and men. She says by teaching boys to value women as their equal, we can end a crisis of rape culture around the world.
Cherry blossoms are not the only sign of spring. A Georgetown University tradition brings color and excitement to the campus. About 100 students gathered on the Copley lawn of Georgetown to prepare the color bags for Holi, a major religious holiday celebrated by Hindus in the spring. The Georgetown campus instantly became hilarious as the students threw dye-filled water balloons and colored powder at each other. Holi is also known as the Festival of Colors and is held by Georgetown University Hindu Students Association every year to mark the arrival of spring.
So my friend Munib Rahman, he got the holy colors in every body orifice possible. He got it in my mouth, in my ears, in my nose. So I'm gonna get him back with some water.
The event has always been an open and engaging way for Hoyas to not only learn about Indian and Hindu culture, but to also come together and build community.
Justin Bieber makes headlines again. During a European tour, the pop star visited the home of Anne Frank. Bieber's comment in the museum's guest book sparked controversy. Truly inspiring to be able to come here. Anne was a great girl. Hopefully she would have been a believer, he said. A believer is a Justin Bieber fan. After the museum shared Bieber's comment on their Facebook page, social media users responded with criticism of Bieber's arrogance. The museum itself called Bieber's comment, quote, innocent, but social media has been largely unforgiving. That's all we have for tonight. I'm Natalie Plum.
And I'm Kenya Downs. Be sure to check us out online at dcwirenews.com.